In an effort to help prevent leaks in production locations, several Hollywood films use fake working titles to throw people off. These titles often include clues about the movie, funny codes, or random phrases. From Back to the Future to Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, see some of the funniest and creative alternative titles used while filming blockbuster movies.
And I thought my jokes were bad.
Before you watch, click subscribe. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of new Screen Rant content. The highly anticipated film The Lord of the Rings: Fellowship of the Ring had finished production and was ready to ship reels out all over the world. To prevent these prints from being stolen, the film used the title Changing Seasons, so no one would be aware they came across Peter Jackson's epic adventure. Named after Christopher Nolan's own son, the shooting title for The Dark Knight Rises was Magnus Rex. The film title actually sounds like a dinosaur explorer movie, but the end result was the finish to DC's epic trilogy of Batman movies. Some filming locations for The Dark Knight Rises also used the fake title Fox Hills Green. One of the most infamous alternate titles used while filming was the title Blue Harvest for Star Wars Episode VI: Return of the Jedi. George Lucas used the name to help hide the production and prevent outside services from upcharging a big-budget movie. The Blue Harvest title would be used later in an Ewok cartoon and for the name of a Family Guy parody. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom was a highly anticipated sequel to the original Jurassic World, and spoilers had to be kept under wraps. This is why the film relied on the fake title Ancient Future 3. Too bad the fake film logo used the Jurassic Park font and the 3 slashes from Jurassic Park 3. Kind of a giveaway there. After The Matrix became a cult classic, the Wachowskis planned an even bigger and better sequel with much of the cast returning. To help keep the film's secrets under wraps, the film used the fake name The Burly Man. The title comes from an old screenplay the Wachowskis wrote but never got to produce. Of course, the title could also refer to Lawrence Fishburne's role as Morpheus. Marvel and the whole MCU love to infuse comedy into the working titles of their films. For the superhero mashup movie The Avengers, the film was made under the aptly titled Group Hug. While an actual group hug scene would have been great, we imagine the Hulk would have squeezed just a tad too hard. Imagine coming across a list of movies in production and you see the title Oliver's Arrow. You'd think an official movie adaptation would be in development, but you would be way off the mark. Using one of his son's names, Oliver's Arrow was the fake title used in the film Inception. The title could easily be used for an episode of the CW's Arrow, though. And what sounds like the title for an episode of Dateline, Incident of 57th Street was the working title given to Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. The sequel to the first Harry Potter film was met with much anticipation. Even though the whole plot was available in the book, production kept hush on the filming, and prints of the film also used the fake title. By the end of the franchise, it became much harder to hide the production. Hiding a movie with massive action sequences and giant fighting robots is no easy task. To help matters, the first Transformers film used the fake title Prime Directive. The title was an obvious connection to Optimus Prime. Once the secret was out, filmmakers barely tried to hide the filming of future installments, with the sequel going under the name Prime Directive 2. Every Transformers movie following ditched the fake titles altogether. Christopher Nolan has a lot of fun coming up with fake names for his movies, and the title he chose for The Dark Knight sounds like a romantic comedy for the Hallmark Channel. Rory's First Kiss is once again named after one of his sons, and does a great job of hiding the clash between Batman and the Joker. Before Jennifer Lawrence helmed the blockbuster film franchise, The Hunger Games was already a massive success in publication. The filming of the first movie was met with a lot of buzz, cast announcements, and secret filming locations. The fake title used was Artemis, and is a direct connection to Katniss herself. Artemis was the goddess of wild animals, the hunt, and vegetation, known for using her bow and arrow. Sound familiar? Rebooting the Star Trek series meant dealing with a large group of dedicated fans who want to know every detail possible before the film's release. J.J. Abrams is notorious for hiding his productions, and gave Star Trek the most basic shooting title ever by calling it Corporate Headquarters. The ruse didn't work for too long, though, but helped keep some set secrets from leaking out months before the film's release. When Steven Spielberg was shooting E.T., he wasn't worried about leaks to the movie's audience. He was worried about other studios stealing the idea of an alien and a boy and releasing a copycat film. This is why Spielberg chose to use the extremely generic title A Boy's Life while filming. The trick obviously worked, as E.T. went on to become a major hit, and copycat films in the following years just bombed. Captain America's journey to the modern-day Marvel timeline included a long stint where his body was frozen. This is why the movie Captain America: The First Avenger had the fake title of Frostbite while filming. We can only imagine how your body parts feel after being frozen in place for so long. The humorous title is actually a plot spoiler, but we know Steve Rogers had to travel through time somehow, and being frozen seemed to be the best option. The release of an Indiana Jones film often gives away the plot or quest our hero goes on throughout the movie. There's the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Temple of Doom, and the Last Crusade. For the fourth entry in the series, Steven Spielberg wanted to keep the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull title out of the public eye for as long as possible. This is one of the reasons he filmed the movie under the basic title, genre, instead. Too bad set leaks began confirming the Crystal Skull's presence and Spielberg's efforts were ultimately wasted. Sounding like a great submarine adventure, Ebb Tide was the working title for the Jurassic Park reboot, Jurassic World. The natural water references may have something to do with the Mosasaurus and the huge role the water creature has in the movie. Either way, we would still love to see a sci-fi movie entitled Ebb Tide at some point in the future. James Cameron's massive budget on Titanic led to production shoots all over the world as he wanted the film to feel as realistic as possible. To conceal his involvement with the movie, Cameron filmed Titanic under the fake title Planet Ice. No one questioned the sci-fi filmmaker when he began filming icebergs out at sea to use for the production. Once again, a title like Planet Ice would make another great low-budget science fiction movie. The classic horror film Alien works so well because of the simplistic title. You know exactly what you're going to get. Now imagine if the film was titled Star Beast instead. Star Beast was not only a working title on the film, but it was the title used for some early drafts of the script. No matter what the title was, the movie would have been great. Back to the Future is a classic title, and one of the more beloved trilogies ever made. Before production began, a studio executive was not a fan of the title, and wanted to change the name to Spaceman from Pluto based off of a comic book one of the characters was reading. Steven Spielberg wrote back acting like the title change was a joke. The working title, Spaceman from Pluto, became a running gag behind the scenes. Not to be confused with Benedict Cumberbatch's real film, The Imitation Game, The Intimidation Game was a fake title given to the movie Batman Begins. Veering away from using family names, Christopher Nolan created a title that sounded like a great 1990s thriller. The title was pretty fitting as Bruce Wayne's formation into Batman was filled with a lot of intimidation along the way. The Friday the 13th franchise is iconic in so many ways. There's the music, the hockey mask wearing Jason Voorhees, and of course, the title. The film is remembered and references anytime the calendar falls on the fateful day. Something that wouldn't have been so memorable? The Long Night at Camp Blood. Of course, the Camp Blood title was released over the years, and there have been numerous rep-off movies using the Camp Blood name. In Pretty Woman, Richard Gere's character offers Julia Roberts $3,000 to spend the week with him. Instead of focusing on the beauty of her character, the film title was originally going to just be $3,000. And this was the working title for much of the filming. Of course, the price of a week with a hooker would probably not sell as well as the title Pretty Woman. The money aspect was ditched, and one of the most popular romantic comedies of all time was released. Quentin Tarantino's cult classic Pulp Fiction was based off a genre of comics and stories involving detectives and crimes. One of these comics in particular was entitled Black Mask. Black Mask was published in the 1920s through the 1950s and followed a number of detective tales. In honor of the comic, Tarantino used the Black Mask title while filming Pulp Fiction and eventually went with the more generic title when it was released. Kevin Williamson was pretty brilliant when it came to creating titles for his screenplays. He's been a part of classics like Dawson's Creek, I Know What You Did Last Summer, The Following, and the Scream franchise. While Scream was filming, it had another really basic title, Scary Movie. Years after Scream debuted, the Scary Movie title was taken for a direct spoof of Scream and other slasher films in the genre. When Beyoncé began filming her thriller Obsessed, the film was known for a title many of us were probably saying while watching it. The humorous title, Oh No She Didn't, was a great tagline for revenge thrillers like Obsessed, and actually sounds like the title of a future Tyler Perry movie. With each plot turn and twist, watch Obsessed again, and see how many times you want to scream out, Oh no, she didn't!
Well, you're not wrong.
Wow, there you have it. What is your favorite working movie title? Are there any we missed? Should any of these titles be used for real movies? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Screen Rant on YouTube so you can stay up to date with our awesome videos. Thanks for watching.